Dial. This is what talk radio is supposed to sound like with your hosts Dave Carney and Chad Forster. This is Live Las Vegas.
And welcome to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk 720 KDWN. I'm Dave Carney, joined by my co-host Chad Forster and Tammy Grable from Las Vegas Woman Magazine. Guys, great to see you here. We are live at Max Pawn, the new holiday Dos de Mayo.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I actually was just a little bit excited. I just saw my sombrero walk in.
Yeah, and all of Las Vegas heard about that because you said, my sombrero.
It's the largest in Las Vegas.
That is very nice.
Wow, that's a great thing because down here at Max Pawn, we're compiling a list of largest in Las Vegas. Starts with me here and moves down to Tammy with her nice sombrero. Wow, that thing is
massive.
That is impressively large.
Yes.
You could fit, how many tortilla chips do you think
I would
could
say
fit in the top of
those
that?
Tostitos bags, I would say probably 4 bags in that. That's how,
Easily.
Wow. I've got a 2-bagger. She's got a 4-bagger. Maybe 10.
I
Maybe
think
10
you guys
bags.
feel a little demasculated right now.
I am a little bit.
You know
nice.
what? I think I'm strangely attracted to the large nature of your hat, and it looks very virile. That's the thing. It's standing upright. And Chad, you know how in the United States of America we have a very a relational history with obelisks and things that go straight up in the air.
Absolutely.
That my friend, is one of them.
That's Washington Monument-esque.
Absolutely.
We actually bought that in Mexico. That's an authentic Mexican sombrero.
I'm surprised they let you come through the border with that.
No kidding.
We are too.
It looks like it could be funding something unsavory.
You would have to check that, I would think. You can't put that in the overhead compartment. It's just too damn big.
No,
Probably
you just wear
not.
it and annoy everyone else.
There
That
you
goes
go.
over 2 seats in the airplane.
You're one of those people, huh?
We
It
are.
goes over.
I
2
always
seats.
hate those people. I'm going to be flying in a week, and if there's somebody with a giant sombrero, I'm going to be pretty pissed off.
Next time, Tammy and her husband go on vacation, I'm gonna get the seat next to him, rent a baby, see how that works out, and be like, yeah, that's right. Thank you very much for that sombrero. Well, guys, we've got a great show today here on Live Las Vegas, and then later on Pawn Talk Live, we are absolutely live, and really, I would like to say, live and in charge. I know that's not really a phrase yet, but we are live and in charge down here. We have got free food. We've got street tacos down here, virgin margaritas, and everybody that comes to the world-famous Max Pawn between now and 5 p.m. this evening, guys, is going to get free tickets to a number of different shows at the LVH, a free grab from our Max Pawn treasure chest. Really, really a great deal here for Dos de Mayo, the pre-Cinco de Mayo celebration.
And did you mention the margaritas?
I said virgin margaritas.
Oh, virgin
yes,
margaritas.
I like
Yes.
the virgin margaritas.
Tammy said she was going to make one of her own margaritas on the side that maybe. Oh,
No,
maybe.
I don't.
Did you bring a
I'm
bottle?
not a drinker.
Okay. I
No.
forgot.
You know what?
I bought a bottle of extra margarita mix.
Okay, there you go. Well, see, you come in handy.
Good thing about these virgin margaritas, guys, it won't even cost you a bit of $550,000 to get yourself a virgin margarita. This is going to come to you absolutely free. All you have to do is come down here to the store. Great stuff. Now, because there is just so much going on today, guys, and we have got, like I said, a big show. We're going to be talking to Chef Sammy D. DeMarco, who is going to be appearing in a new Travel Channel show coming up very soon at 1:30 today. And then at 1:48, we're going to be talking to Nick from the Banger Brewing crew down on Fremont Street. Now, Banger Brewing is the only actual brewing company on Fremont Street. And, Chad, as you know, we talk downtown Las Vegas a lot. We went down to downtown yesterday. You see all the Renaissance, and to think they're the only brewing company downtown, very impressive start.
Yeah, very impressive start, and I think it's going to be very lucrative for those guys. Downtown project is amazing. Every time I go down there, I'm just impressed more and more. And yesterday, as you mentioned, we were down there and we had lunch at Big Earn's Barbecue. Oh, my God, that place is awesome. And just it was a great atmosphere. And you know what? We figured out, I don't know, Tammy, when you're down there, if you've been down there, there's these people, and they walk around, and they have this R on their chest. And I thought it was like, to me, being the Northwest guy that I am, I thought it had something to do with Rainier beer, but it doesn't. They're Rangers, and they're down there, and they greet you, and they're very welcoming, I thought that's a nice
Ranger.
touch.
It is a Ranger.
It's like a whole different culture and language over there.
Well, you're right. They're developing this whole, specific culture for the downtown area. Chad brings up the Rangers. They're basically a little helpful security detail. I mean, they're not necessarily oppressively, security-like, but they're a helpful detail that kind of walks you to and from your car if it's parked far away in a different parking garage. They really assist you through your travels in the new downtown. And I've got to say, just great stuff. So Banger Brewing coming up with us today, 1:45. Let's jump in now, though, guys, to the live news.
And now, for an all-new look at stories from around the world and around the town, here's the live news.
All right, starting off the live news with what else? Talk of Clippers owner Donald Sterling, who unfortunately is battling cancer, but has become known in public as the bigot that everybody has known him to be in private. Now, Chad, Tammy, I know there's probably a number of different opinions on this topic. Starting off with you, Chad, give me your thoughts about Donald Sterling's comments being aired out and now what the NBA has done to sanction him.
Wow, I was floored when they said lifetime ban. I never thought they would say lifetime ban. I think most people were. I thought for sure they were just going to fine him the maximum, which was the $2.5 million, which what he got, which to a guy like that means nothing, absolutely nothing. Actually, to a guy like that, come to find out, he's really, really cheap, apparently. The L.A. Clippers were the only team. Tom Chambers, there was this article that came out that said they were the only team that were forced to fly coach. So even though $2.5 million, when you stack it next to how much he actually has, doesn't really matter to him, he's going to have a hard time writing that check, and he'll fight every single tooth and nail to have to do that. I'll guarantee you.
You think he will fight tooth and nail?
Absolutely. I think this guy
with the present circumstance that he has cancer.
I know.
He may not be here tomorrow.
This guy does not like to lose, and he does not like to fork over checks. If history is any measure of that, I think he's going to fight it. Dave, I mean, I know you agree with me.
Well, absolutely, and I'll touch on that in a second. I want to get Tammy's viewpoint on this. Tammy, when you started hearing about Donald Sterling, obviously a multi-billionaire, making these kind of comments, what were your initial thoughts?
You know, it's a hard thing to say. It's not like he made these comments in a press conference. He made this at home with an ex-girlfriend, and it was aired out. Whether the comments were right or not right or whatever, they were said in the privacy of his home, and he's being fined for something that wasn't really supposed to be aired at all. He probably doesn't even remember making those comments.
Well, okay, now he does actually. Donald Sterling was aware. If you can believe this, Donald Sterling was aware and consenting the recording of these conversations.
He consented
to the recording of these conversations. Now, you asked me my opinion on this, Chad.
Yes.
I absolutely agree with a lifetime ban of Donald Sterling.
I do too, by the way.
Here's the thing, though. Donald Sterling, just to kind of go back to Chad's earlier question, will fight this thing, in my opinion, to the very end of the rope as far as he can go to not actually destroy the franchise's sponsorship opportunities. I think he will push this in every way that he can to ensure that the NBA feels the wrath of Donald Sterling one more time.
Oh, man.
In 1981, when Donald Sterling bought the Los Angeles Clippers, then the San Diego Clippers, for $12 million, there was a free throw shooting contest that was held during a Clippers game. The prize was $1,000. An attorney, who was also a former captain of a San Diego State basketball team, ended up winning this free throw contest 9 out of 10. The prize was $1,000. It took 1 year and legal action for this man to get his $1,000 from Donald Sterling. Yeah. $1,000. So, Chad, to your point, $2.5 million. Yes, he will not give that up easily. But the bigger question here, or the bigger, pie that's on the table, is the $1 billion possibly that the Clippers could be worth if sold at auction.
Well, and then it's a lot of analysts out there, legal guys, are saying, hey, I don't even think the NBA has any grounds here when you actually go and you look at the charter, and there's only two, I think. There's only two things that apply, and even those are going to be really hard for the NBA to enforce. And I think that's kind of the crux that the NBA is in right now. Is I think the lifetime ban, that's one thing, but how are you going to be able to get him to force him to sell on something that technically, like Tammy, it was a private conversation.
I am all about common sense. If I were if I was his granddaughter or great granddaughter, I would tell him, listen, you are at the end of your life. You have a life-threatening disease. Just pay the fine, sell out, and have a nice day.
Well, okay, but what if you're also one of these guys that knows that because he is an older gentleman, if he decides to sell this team and say, he says, you know what, you're right, we're going to have to sell it, but I'm going to force an open bid because, as Chad mentioned, there's a number of different antitrust provisions in California state law that could make this difficult, especially when you have an attorney such as Donald Sterling running the ship. But say he decides to sell. They kind of force him to do that. If he sells it for $1 billion, he paid $12 million for it, so he's in essence netting $1 billion. He will have approximately $379 million in capital gains tax due to the United States government, payable immediately, okay, because you made that transaction within calendar year.
And how long did it take to get a $1,000 check out of this guy?
Exactly.
A year?
There is going, in my opinion, to be a very long and protracted mess. I feel very, very bad for the Clippers fans, for the organization, because what they have done this year has been nothing short of remarkable. I mean, really usurping my own Los Angeles Lakers as the most popular team in Los Angeles. Chris Paul, we're seeing an autograph photo of him here at the store. Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. I mean, the team is stacked and could be poised to win an NBA championship. This, to me, undermines the whole thing. Going into a Game 7, which we'll talk about later on in the program, I'm not confident that the Clippers can actually play.
Well, and you brought up the Lakers, and we'll talk about in the Sports Carnival as well, as who's going to take over the head coaching job, because that was the other headline that was in L.A. It's not just Donald Sterling's a racist, which we knew that anyway. Now it just made it public, but D'Antoni quit. So we'll be talking about that in the Sports Carnival coming up.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to step aside, take our first look at traffic. When we come back, the Sports Carnival, as Chad mentioned, and more, of course, with Tammy coming up at 1:30. Chef Sammy D, 1:45. Nick from Banger Brewing.
15 in the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. A couple of problems on the 95. This report brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Farmers Insurance believes the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. To find your local agent and get smarter about your insurance, call 888-96-FARMERS. That's 888-96-FARMERS. 95 South, a couple of accidents, Rancho and south of Valley View. North 215, that's the Flamingo on-ramp. North 15 south of Tropicana in the resort area. The ramp leaving Las Vegas Boulevard to go west 215. Also injuries, Maryland at Sahara on the east side and Lamb at Sunrise. For the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
It's Boulder City Spring Jamboree 2014. Join us this Saturday, May 3rd and Sunday, May 4th for 2 days of family fun featuring arts and crafts, antiques, yummy food vendors, the Spring Jamboree Car Show, carnival rides, Southern Nevada Gem and Mineral Show, and don't miss the entertainment under the gazebo. It's sure to be a weekend filled with fun. Visit springjamboree.com for more information, and we'll see you this weekend in beautiful Boulder City for their Spring Jamboree.
Craving something new for lunch? Try Marie Callender's Monday through Friday midday mix-ups menu. Choose from 6 delicious entrees and add salad, soup, or even pie for just $6.99. Lunch is home-cooked and quick at Marie Callender's.
You hear a lot of talk about gold these days. What, with the stock market and more upheaval than tumbleweeds in a tornado? The world-famous Max Pawn is your gold spot in Las Vegas. Don't just send your gold into some random TV guy for pennies on the dollars. Go where you can see what your gold is really worth and get guaranteed market rate for your gold, silver, diamonds, and more. Come visit the world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas at the northeast corner of Sahara and Jones or online at maxpawnlv.com.
Now, back to Live Las Vegas with Dave Carney and Chad Forster.
And welcome back to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney sitting alongside Chad Forster and Tammy Grable from Las Vegas Woman Magazine. And happy Dos de Mayo. I don't want to say Doce because you're right, Juan. That is actually technically the 12th of May. But happy Dos de Mayo, a new holiday we have created down here at Max Pawn. So what we're doing is we're broadcasting live from 1 till 3 today and until 5 p.m. Anybody that hears us on radio can come on down here for great free food. We've got street tacos outside. We've got virgin margaritas. And we have got a ton of tickets, guys, to some really, really great shows over at the LVH. We've got tickets to see Trent Carlini's The King. We've got tickets to see Mosaic, which is, Chad, how did you describe Mosaic? You had a great little catchphrase.
I don't remember that, how I described it, because I've never seen it.
You described it as something as a cappella in sync.
Yeah.
Yes, a cappella in sync would be like Mosaic.
In sync with rhythm, I think, or something along those lines. Yeah.
And no blues that come after listening to In Sync.
Exactly.
And then we've got tickets to Rock Vault, Rating the Rock Vault, which is really one of the, I think, most popular shows over at the LVH. Everybody seems to love it. So get on down here to Max Pawn, corner of Sahara and Jones, until 5 p.m. Got all these great prizes and, of course, the free food, the virgin margaritas that, again, you don't even have to bid $550,000 for. Now, transitioning, guys, here, some more news in Las Vegas. The MGM Grand and AEG Entertainment yesterday broke ground on a brand new $375 million, 20,000-seat arena that is all privately funded. Guys, this is going to be located behind the New York, and the Monte Carlo. Floyd Mayweather was out there at the groundbreaking. We also saw luminaries Bill Walton out there, and it was emceed by Jim Gray. I mean, this is a really big deal. Chad, your thoughts on the opening of an actual bona fide arena on the Strip in Las Vegas?
I would have to say hallelujah. You know, we've heard multiple pitches over the years. Oh, we're going to build one, and we got a group together, and they still have a couple of groups that are out there that are still claiming that they're gonna do something, including the Goodmans with their downtown situation. But we actually physically have now started something in action. That doesn't necessarily mean as you drive down the strip and see half-built buildings, sometimes that doesn't always pan out. But I'm extremely excited, and I think the fact that you have guys like Bill Walton there and Mayweather there, Mayweather saying, I'll buy the Clippers, there's a possibility that we're actually physically going to get a professional team here.
Tammy, a little different take, I would imagine, from your side, you being, the editor and publisher, owner of Las Vegas Woman Magazine. When you see something like this come to Las Vegas, what are your initial thoughts?
I was born and raised here in Las Vegas, and I love it. I think they'll follow through. I don't think this is a pipe dream. I think it'll come through. We're going to have this huge arena at MGM, and it's going to be phenomenal. We're going to have huge concerts. We're going to have sporting. It's going to be amazing. It's long overdue.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys mentioned, the concerts, all the different purposes that an arena really, a stadium in this case, really does for us. They're so innumerous. I mean, we've got the Pro Bull Riders. We've got National Finals Rodeo. We've got a number of different kinds of events that we have to compete with cities like Dallas for, New Orleans, Miami and Fort Lauderdale. We have to be able to compete with these cities, and I think this is a step in the right direction. Now, Chad, I do have to say, with all private funding from the MGM and AEG, this is probably the one thing in Las Vegas that's a sure thing when it comes to stadiums.
Oh, yeah.
They have an open date of 2016, and really the cool thing for Las Vegas, in my opinion, is the amount of construction jobs, that will be gained from the building of this, 3,500 construction jobs during its building, 2,000 permanent jobs at the stadium, and that is fantastic for a city that, as we all know, is still coming out of the Great Recession.
Sure, absolutely. And the other thing that they've talked about is that park that's going to be involved in it as well. So there's a family atmosphere, and this new kind of, and Tammy kind of speak to this as well. With the downtown project and what they've done at Container Park and some other places over there, the Link project, is they're opening that up a little bit more, and now you have kind of an outdoor, cool family feel here, where normally it's just about, hey, let's go and sin. Well, they're kind of opening it back up a little bit.
We're becoming a city of culture, so to speak. With Town Square, the Link is amazing. You just walk around there, just hang out, chill out, even with your family. And now if this opens up and we have the downtown project's just phenomenal. You can go there every weekend and just spend it with your family. The town is definitely changing for the better. It's still keeping its core, gambling beliefs, but at the same time, we're evolving, and we should evolve. We've been here, 100 years. We should evolve.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, Las Vegas should really be the leader when it comes to most socially progressive ideas, socially progressive changes. We were the barrier breakers for legalized sports gaming, okay, and gave a lot of guys legitimate business that, before had been considered gangsters. And I mean, when you consider what you can do in Nevada, the possibilities are endless. And I'm really, really glad to start seeing, some of these things take shape, because, Chad, you mentioned the Goodmans and trying to bring us, a stadium, an arena downtown. That just doesn't look as viable as something that can be had on the Strip. And really, we have to be considerate of the entire usage of this thing. It will be largely driven by tourists. It's close to the airport. You've got all the parking that you need. You don't have to create new infrastructure just to accommodate the visitors that come to the stadium. So there's a number of reasons why it makes sense where it is.
Well, and if you read about it, you find out that they've done their due diligence here, and they're actually making the arena to specs that the NBA and the NHL specifically need, that they require, which is brilliant, because ultimately those are the two leagues that are probably going to get us there.
Absolutely. Now, with that being said, great segue there, Chad. Let's jump into today's Sports Carnival.
Covering the sports stories that come from everywhere. It's time for the Sports Carnival with Chad and Dave.
All right, guys, here on today's Sports Carnival, Chad, you just mentioned NBA, NHL team possibilities here at the new MGM AEG Arena. Now, our own Floyd Money Mayweather, who's got a fight. I won't say it's a big fight, because I don't think Floyd fights big fights anymore.
Not really.
But he's got a fight coming up here, and Floyd has made some noise recently saying he would like to buy, or at least is interested in purchasing, the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, Ed Graney in the Las Vegas Review-Journal did a pretty nice piece on the possibilities of Floyd becoming an owner of the Clippers, and it doesn't sound like that would ever have chance in heck of happening. But your thoughts, your thoughts on that whole idea, guys.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Floyd is Floyd, and love him or hate him, he's probably one of the pound-for-pound greatest fighters of all time, if not the greatest fighter of all time. And granted, he's fighting, is it Medina?
Yeah, Madonna.
Madonna this weekend.
You say Medina, I say Madonna.
11-1. He's 11-1. I mean, he's going to clean up on it. But he's also a huge sports fan. Here's his issue. Not only all the domestic problems and being in jail and all those kinds of things, he's a huge gambler.
That's right.
And as the owner of an NBA team, you cannot gamble. I think that it's more likely that another boxer might take that position and actually have a better shot at picking up the Lakers, and that, of course, being the Golden Boy.
Absolutely, yeah. So Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions are one of the many groups in Southern California that are taking a hard look at buying the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, Tammy, let me ask you, from an editor-in-chief, from an owner of a publication like Las Vegas Woman's standpoint, would you think the NBA would have some onus to bring in a minority ownership just to make good public relations?
That's a possible. I don't think that's going to be at the top priority. I mean, you just get someone good in there. As far as Mayweather, he's all about publicity. He's, like you said, like or hate him, he's good with his publicity. And this was a good move to say, I'm interested in buying the Clippers, and look at all the publicity that came around it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting people to maybe buy some more, more pay-per-views to his fight with Medina Madonna. Here's the thing for Medina Madonna. He's only making $1.5 million. Do you know what Floyd's purse is in this fight?
You know what? I was looking at that, trying to look that up, and I didn't catch it. What was it?
$30.5 million for this fight.
$30 million.
$30.5 million for a part-time fighter. He handpicks his guys. Now listen, you can't take anything away from Floyd, like you mentioned. Pound for pound, probably one of the best ever. But honestly, we won't ever really know, because the big elephant, the 800-pound gorilla in the room for Floyd Mayweather, is still Manny Pacquiao. Now, Manny Pacquiao, a lot of people thought was done and over with, but he bounced back really, really well against Bradley a couple of weeks back and showed some form that we thought a lot of, Manny Pacquiao fans thought was lost.
Right.
I think that for the MGM Grand, one of the best fights, one of the best things they could do to open this arena is get Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather together in a fight and have them open up the MGM.
That would be huge, just like WrestleMania, whatever, when Andre the Giant and
Hulk Hogan
took each other out. Because it's so big, it becomes almost like mythical. It's like that big. But I would like to see first, before that happens, I just want to throw this in here because we didn't really talk about it before. Bernard Hopkins, who wants to take a shot. Man. He's 49 years old. He just won an amazing fight, and he's like, hey, I may not be number 2 but I think I'm number 3. Give me a shot against Mayweather. I would love to see something like that happen before the Pacquiao fight.
And you know what? Bernard Hopkins, at his advanced age of 49, watching that fight that he had about a month and a half ago.
He would kick our ass together.
Oh, absolutely. and he'd probably wrap everybody up in this whole place in one. I think, though, that he would present enough of a challenge to Floyd that Floyd would not take the fight.
It's a huge risk, because if you lose, if the first fight you lose in the history of your career is to a 49-year-old man, that's not good.
Not good.
Let's give you part of that the bucket list too. Starring Floyd Mayweather and whoever else was in that movie.
So we're going to have the first characters already died off, and now these guys are going to be coming back to pick up the pieces, right? So bucket list 2, let's fight now. I think they already did that in a very horribly underwhelming movie that had Robert De Niro and Sylvester Stallone. I can't even recall the name of it because
it's not worth recalling.
There was better film on Teeth, I heard, than there was coming out of that movie. Now, guys, here wrapping up the Sports Carnival today, we obviously have to talk about an unprecedented situation in the NBA here. Tonight, there are 3 Game 6s in the NBA, and tomorrow, Chad, 3 Game 7s.
It's amazing, and possibly, it's probably not going to happen, possibly 3 Game 7s on Sunday.
Right.
If the 3 Game 6s end, obviously, with the 3-2 scenario where the 2 wins and not the 3. So it's awesome. This is the best first round of the NBA playoffs in probably the history of the league, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow specifically. But I think there's going to be some really cool games on tonight. San Antonio at Dallas. Can San Antonio close out on the road? Toronto at Brooklyn. Brooklyn, can they hang on? Can Toronto close it out? And then Houston at Portland. I think Portland's gonna sweep them up. I think it's over for Portland. I think the only teams that really
over for Portland or over for Houston?
Excuse me, over for Houston. I think the only teams that have a shot to take it to Game 7 is possibly Dallas, and I think Brooklyn wins tonight.
Really? See,
I know you disagree, but I think Brooklyn wins tonight.
I think we've seen the best that we're going to see from the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, their owners spent a ton of money on getting Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd as the head coach. Jason Kidd starts off the season with the DUI, finishes him up in the first round of the playoffs. I think the Brooklyn Nets have reached their max. Kevin Garnett, to me, it's almost sad watching him play now. He's a shell of himself. Even a year or 2 ago, it's really hard to watch him play. The Toronto Raptors, on the other hand, are a team on the rise. DeMar DeRozan is a kid that had his struggles in Game 1, came out Game 2, scored 30-plus points, has been a key factor in carrying the Toronto Raptors. And you look at how that team is built, a really, really hard-nosed team. They share the basketball, and the fans in Toronto want to see a winner.
Well, sure, if you want to use logic to win the argument. I'm just saying I want to see Brooklyn win. They're at home. You're in Brooklyn. You got Canadians down here having a good time. I don't think they're going to allow that. I think it goes to Game 7 back up there to the Canuck area. That's all I'm saying. The frozen tundra, if you will.
Hey, Toronto's a great city. I think that the Buffalo Bills, when they move up to Toronto,
that's going to happen.
They're going to be happy. They're up there. All right, and you mentioned Dallas and San Antonio. I personally think Dallas hands San Antonio the loss tonight as well. I think that Dallas is really coming off of a big loss the other night, and now Dirk Nowitzki is really going to have to come out, show his stuff, and prove that he is still one of the top forwards in the
Yeah, him and Monte Ellis have to have big games. And then, of course, Vince Carter's going to, he's doing an amazing job off the bench. And so is Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two guys off the bench having the bigger series than the Stars, honestly.
Gosh, it's almost like it was 1999 all over again. All right, we're going to step aside, take another look at traffic here on Live Las Vegas. When we come back, Chef Sammy D from a new Travel Channel show is going to be joining us here on Live Las Vegas. Stay tuned.
Remember, from now on, you need to dial the 702 to reach KDWN. Want to get us by phone? 702-257-5396. That's 702-257-5396. This is News Talk 720 KDWN, Las Vegas.
AP Update. I'm Ed Donahue. Fighting in Ukraine set off a fire in the city of Odessa. 31 people were killed. There's also Ukrainian offensive going on to try to recapture the city of Slavyansk. It is the center of the pro-Russian insurgency. There is an emergency meeting going on at the UN Security Council. Ukraine is the topic. Speaking through an interpreter, Russian Ambassador Vitaly Churkin says the West is making the situation worse in Ukraine.
In supporting those who perpetrated the coup d'etat in Kiev, in tamping out the protesters, the U.S. and the EU bear great responsibility in effect destroying the path to a peaceful solution to the crisis.
Russia has massed tens of thousands of troops in areas near Ukraine's border. Kiev officials claim that Russia is preparing to invade and that it is fomenting the unrest in the east. Moscow denies the allegations. AP Update. I'm Ed Donahue.
The news brought to you by Farmers Insurance. At Farmers Insurance, they believe the more you know, the better you can plan. Find your local agent at farmers.com or call 888-96-FARMERS. Brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
It's 1:32 on the Kid on One Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. Do have a couple of incidents working on area freeways. NHP's on the scene. North 15, that's south of Tropicana in the resort area. South 95 at Rancho. Las Vegas Boulevard, that's north of the 215. And several injury incidents. Jones at Sahara, Maryland at Sahara, and Lamb at Sunrise. From the Kid on One Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Luxury shops in Las Vegas aren't new. What is new, however, is luxury meeting value. At the world-famous Max Pawn, we specialize in marrying the two. With some of the finest selections of watches, designer handbags, sunglasses, and more, the luxury never stops. Every day, new items are added in-store and online. From Gucci and Chanel to Hermes and Louis Vuitton, Max Pawn delivers all the top luxury brands at a fraction of the price. Visit us online at maxpawnlv.com or browse our showroom in Las Vegas. The world-famous Max Pawn, where luxury meets value.
It's a new year, so you deserve a new you. Wouldn't it be nice to finally quit worrying about crooked or missing teeth? If you've been putting it off for a while because of the cost, then you should see Dr. Miracondia and his staff at AQ Denture in Henderson, because AQ stands for affordable quality. Dental implants, dentures, or dental services are more affordable than you think. Call AQ today at 702-565-6000. That's 702-565-6000 and smile again. Call AQ 702-565-6000.
If you're a conservative American over 50, then please listen to this important message. Hi friends, Fran Tarkenton here. Let me tell you about an organization fighting to protect our country from the destructive liberal policies threatening our great nation. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, with over 1 million members and growing, serves as a strong conservative alternative to the left-leaning AARP. Over the years, I'd become increasingly distrustful of the AARP and its liberal agenda, but their support for Obamacare was the last straw. As a football player, I understood that in order to win, you have to keep fighting. Well, AMAC not only shares my conservative beliefs, but they also share that same willingness to fight to protect those beliefs for generations to come. You deserve better than AARP. AMAC is better. Better for you. Better for America.
Join AMAC today to receive exclusive benefits and discounts. Call 888-950-AMAC or go to teamamac.us to become a member. Call 888-950-AMAC or go to teamamac.us.
Now, back to Live Las Vegas with Dave Carney and Chad Forster.
And welcome back to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk 720 KDWN, streaming worldwide at KDWN.com. I'm Dave Carney, joined by Chad Forster and Tammy Grable from Las Vegas Woman Magazine. Coming to you live down here from Max Pawn, the corner of Sahara and Jones. And until 5 p.m. today, guys, you can come on down here to Max Pawn and be a winner. Anybody that hears us on the show, comes on down to the store, is going to get absolutely free tickets to one of 3 amazing shows at the LVH, either Raiding the Rock Vault, Mosaic, or The King with Trent Carlini. Now, I know that, Chad, you are a big Mosaic fan. And
mama. No, I was going Trent Carlini.
Man, I was trying to get you on the Mosaic bandwagon here.
I love Mosaic.
I don't know what
They're
that means.
Amazing.
They are amazing.
That's some kind of pottery? I don't know what that is. I'm not sure exactly what that is.
It's amazingly small T-shirt guys.
Okay.
That's what it is. They've got amazingly small T-shirts.
Well, that's hard to pull off. I know I can't pull that off. I actually have stretch marks on the outside of my T-shirts, which is not good.
I was going to Chad, if you had one of these shirts on, you'd have to pull it off. It wouldn't be able to fit on you, man. What are you talking about?
That's like T-shirt in a can, though.
That's right.
I mean, you're not supposed to wear that. That's going to be a little bit restrictive, I would
You know, T-shirt in a can kind of reminds me of like shoe in an egg. When you're at the casino right after a really long night and the chicks have to take off their high heels, they've got like that shoe in the egg inside, like, at the Cosmo.
Those are the most genius things ever.
Isn't it? I mean, it's really probably, you're right, one of the top 5 ideas of at least the last 50 years. So great stuff going on down here at Max Pawn. We have got street tacos out here. Again, absolutely free. Virgin margaritas, guys. If you want to bring your own booze, we can't stop you. There is a 7-Eleven right over there. I don't know if they sell hard liquor, but, get some of that refreshing.
You can get a 40 over there.
You can get a refreshing citrus Coors Light, which I know, Chad, you're a big fan of.
And citrus in my drinks. I love that.
We're going to, on a future episode, we're going to have a little in-depth look at citrus in the food industry and why it's becoming so prominent now. And speaking of the food industry, guys, on with us from the Travel Channel's new show, Chow Masters, which airs Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, Chef Sammy D. DeMarco. Chef, how the heck are you? And thanks for joining us on the program today.
Oh, I'm so excited to be on the program, and this is like, I really feel like, I'm really like an adult now. Alyssa trusted me.
You don't have to be.
To get on the call and be live.
Well, Chef, we're so excited to have you with us. If people don't know a little bit about Chow Masters coming up here on the Travel Channel, why don't you take this opportunity and let our listeners know about the show and what you guys are doing on it?
Well, listen, it's me and my best friend, Frank Karachi, who actually is just finishing up his movies coming out blended. He's actually a director. 40 years of friendship is number one. There's great camaraderie, friendship. And, we did a lot of things for the first time in our lives as young adults, and now we're older adults and have an opportunity to go around America, eat, laugh, have fun. We're traveling into cities, which is really cool. It feels like Travel Channel has given me a passport for America. I traveled around the world a lot as a young chef and wanted to try food. And I think I kind of forgot about, like, between the major cities in America, how cool America is. So we go into cities. We try an indigenous food of that city. There's basically 3 competitors. We give away $10,000. And we're exposing some very cool chefs kind of off the map. And, we're having fun doing it, man. And we're laughing, we're talking, and, we're spreading the word of good food around America.
Well, Sammy, I've watched a couple of clips online, and it just looks like you guys have such a great chemistry. Obviously, you can tell you guys are childhood friends. You have such a great time with Frankie. But some of this food that you guys have tried, I have to ask you about the tempura mac and cheese burger in San Francisco. It looked amazing.
Outrageously, listen, the guy fried right. I will give you that. It was one of those novelty things, a little overkill. But listen, they're right across from Berkeley College. A lot of young kids there coming out of, actually, they're right across from Berkeley College. They're right across from a high school in Berkeley. So there's definitely a young generation around that area. But it was really fun. I mean, the guy did a great job. He definitely knew tempura. It was in his soul. And, the mac and cheese was just, it was an overkill. But it was cool. I mean, a lot of fun. And if you're into something like that, it was the best in class.
It's so much fun. There's so much health awareness and things like that going on. And it's so cool to see, let's get back to comfort food and let's just showcase that. So it's a really neat thing. I just want to know, what is the most, heart attack or disgusting sounding food dish you've tried but tastes so delicious?
Wow. I will say nothing really tasted disgusting. I mean, things were indulgent. They were overkill. They were decadent. They were like maybe you needed, like to take a rest in between. Fortunately, we didn't have to eat the whole thing. We took a few bites, and we really judge on our first bite. It's a big part of the program.
Not really. It's not. It just sounds like, oh, that was not going to taste very good. But when you tried it, it was oh so delicious.
It was honestly that in particular. He had a great, he had like a cilantro jalapeno sauce, a cheese sauce. The mac and cheese was actually pretty good. The burger didn't have to even be in there. You would have never knew. But like I said, it was crunchy on the outside, gooey, almost like dangerous. I mean, when you bit into that the first time, there was like almost alarms went off. Like I bit it first, and it was like the heat just came smoldering out. I think Frankie, learned to let's let the chef take the first bite after that.
Oh my God.
Well, Sammy, now that we've watched a couple of these episodes, when are you coming to Vegas, and what specifically?
Well, listen, I'm holding Vegas for season 2.
Okay.
Which, it's all about viewers, man. So please watch Chow Masters 9:00 Tuesdays. We repeat at 12 on the same evening, 12 a.m., and then we repeat on Saturday at 2. Important for people to watch. We're Vegas strong. I'm excited. The show is great. I live in Vegas, so I want to save that one. I wanted to listen. I wanted to build up momentum on the show, and then really, come out in the cities that I'm living and work in, and so plenty of areas to explore. Vegas is a great city, and definitely was talked about right off the bat. But I said, let's hold it and let's keep it in our pocket because we can have some fun there for sure. Vegas
I love that you're here. You still live here, and we, everyone I talked to when we said you were coming on the show, everyone's, even Dave. Like I've met Chef Sammy. He's such a cool guy. You're down to earth. My husband went to your restaurant
Cool.
in the past, and he said you sat down. You're like, oh, I'm trying this new apricot thing, and you came down, sat with him, and just explored it. So you really have a good personality, and you're true blue. So we love seeing you on the show.
Well, and Chef.
And listen, it's an honor and a privilege to be here. You guys are doing the same thing I do. It's all about public relations, us sharing what's going on in the news and getting people behind what we're doing. And, keeping the beat, man. Vegas, we keep it hot. And I love being part of Vegas. Some people are like, oh, where do you live? It's like, I live here. It's like I travel a ton for work. I've done projects in Australia over the last couple of years. I've been in Perth and Melbourne. I've traveled for the show, and I'm actually here in Atlantic City right now. But, my home is there. My children go to school there, and that's where we live. I've been there for 5 years, and I'm planning on being there a long time. And hopefully, we'll have something going very soon. So as soon as that's able, we'll get on the show again and let you guys know.
Well, Sammy, it sounds like you're going to have a great time back there in Atlantic City, which is playfully known as Las Vegas's slightly less attractive younger sister. But great stuff, and so glad that you're going to be coming back out here for season 2 of Chow Masters. I got to tell you, we really love your community spirit. You do a lot out here when you're in Vegas, and we're going to be really happy to support the program being launched back out here next season. So Chow Masters Tuesday night, 9:00 on the Travel Channel. Chef, thanks so much for joining us today on Live Las Vegas. Hope to have you back.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Enjoy the afternoon.
Thanks, Chef Sammy.
All right, thanks so much. And, Chef Sammy D. DeMarco. I actually got to meet Chef Sammy D. Back in 2010, guys, when I was working with the Las Vegas Locos, and we put together a great cheerleading event down at his restaurant inside, I believe it is the Palazzo, Lavo or the Palazzo at the time where he was working, and just an amazing event. He put out a great spread and really, really took care of the girls, which, made everybody have a good time because those were, I think, 25 of the hottest cheerleaders that have ever been assembled.
I don't think it was hard for him to take care of the girls.
No, I was going to say
that wasn't a stretch.
Our tryouts for the cheerleading team were more strenuous than the tryouts for the football team.
And it was
let me tell you. Yeah, well, come on. We won 2 championships. Get out of here.
Settle down. I'm just kidding.
Hashtag Jim Fossil's going to go on a rant for you, buddy. But great talking there to Chef Sammy D. And, guys, Chow Masters, like you mentioned, Chad, already going on right now. A couple of great clips online. So if you want to check out what the show's about, just go to YouTube and put in Chow Masters, find some of this stuff. Now, what do you guys think? I'm going to start off with you, Tammy. What do you think would be one food? Okay, you travel a lot. You've been, to Vietnam. I think you're going to Okinawa next or something. You're going on the Karate Kid tour. So I think you're going to go to Okinawa next.
Karate Kid 3, by the way.
That's right. Great movie, by the way.
Yes.
What food would you be most afraid of trying if you were on one of those, type of shows?
Oh boy, anything with insects. That just, and it's in Asia. Seth and I brought back, we're going to open up and try out. We should bring it on the show. We have crickets like you buy just at the 7-Eleven. Dried crickets.
Like chocolate-covered ones? Because I might take in a little chocolate-covered one. But I think just plain.
Well, they're seasoned. They have
they're
nacho
roasted.
flavor.
Oh, okay.
And they have just like a potato chip.
Oh, well, then I'm in.
Nacho
and then
flavored
spiders.
crickets? Really?
Spiders on a stick.
Wow.
Would you do it?
Depends. Are they cooked?
Yeah, they're not raw. I mean, I guess, they're cooked.
All
Or
right.
they must fry them or something.
Is it a big spider, like a tarantula, something that's got some meat on
yeah,
it?
like a big
I
spider.
think that's only in special occasions when they do like the 8-course meal. Is the spider because of the.
Well, but no, you
legs.
know that the spider goes back to the mythical holiday Dos de Mayo, which is going on down here at
and we're having a great time.
The world famous Max Pond. So you can come down here, try spider-friendly street tacos as well as virgin margaritas, and of course free prizes, guys. We've got tickets to shows at the LVH, and we've got the Max Pond treasure chest. So just get on down here, corner of Sahara and Jones, between now and 5 p.m. So they're really extending this out.
We literally have tons of tickets.
Literally,
all you have to do is say hi, and we're going to force you to take tickets.
That's right.
At this point.
And next
so just come down here.
Exactly. I'm going to go to a concert
You're
with
going
them.
to tackle someone to take a ticket.
Just to make sure that they go. All right, guys, we're going to step aside, take our last look at traffic here on Live Las Vegas. When we come back, Nick from Banger Brewing going to be online with us. Stay tuned to Live Las Vegas.
And at 1:45 in the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, we do have one new incident on the freeways right now. 215 westbound, that's the Decatur off-ramp. Also 15 southbound north of Charleston. That one is new. North 15 south of Tropicana, 95 south at Rancho, some possible delays. The ramp at Las Vegas Boulevard north of the 215 and injuries, Lamb at Sunrise. For the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Your $1 million look cannot be perfect if you have thinning, weak, and tired hair. Thinning hair could be a result of aging follicles. The new Provia from Chamonix strengthens your hair follicles to give you stronger, fuller, more vibrant hair like nothing you've tried before. And it works for both men and women. You suffered with thinning hair for years. Well, now you can join the thousands who are using this scientific breakthrough from Chamonix and see the amazing results for yourself. Provia serum is all natural, no side effects, very easy to use, and it's simple. You'll get compliments everywhere you go or your money back. Call 800-538-3129. 800-538-3129. Order Provia right now and get a free month supply with your order. Say goodbye to hair in the sink. Say goodbye to hair in the shower. And start enjoying fuller, thicker hair the natural way. Order Provia risk-free right now and get a free month supply with your order. Nothing to lose and a whole lot of beautiful hair to gain. Call now. 800-538-3129. 800-538-3129. 800-538-3129. Call now.
Nevada is shutting down all its coal-fired power plants, and by law, NVE must replace that power source with more renewable facilities. You know, like those gigantic mirror-driven solar complexes that are cooking birds in mid-flight. How much will all that new hardware cost? Billions? Will NVE start passing that expense on to you? Don't pay for everybody else's solar. Get your own. Go solar without killing birds and take control of your energy bill with no down payment, interest, or payments for a whole year. Get tax breaks, big monthly energy savings, and get something no one else is offering. A high-tech new device that protects all your home electronics and appliances free. And it comes with a $25,000 home appliance protection warranty. Paying $150 a month or more on energy bills? Get tax incentives and an outrageous $25,000 home appliance protection warranty. Call 1-800-MY-SOLAR for a free in-home assessment. 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
My home, my savings. 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
This is Tisha Black, and I'm a real estate attorney in Las Vegas with the law offices of Black & LaBello. If you've short-sold a property in the last year and haven't thought about the tax consequences or have questions related to real property, tune into my show every Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. at KDWN AM 720.
Hi, this is Michael Mack, owner of world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas. You ever wondered what those valuables are worth? Had a pawn question but didn't know who to ask? I have the solution for you. Join me and Dave Carney every Friday from 2 to 3 for Pawn Talk Live here on News Radio 720 KDWN.
Now, back to Live Las Vegas with Dave Carney and Chad Forster.
And welcome back to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk.
Those aren't virgin margaritas.
Oh, boy.
720 KDWN. Well, listen, I had to try it out. You know, I had to take the virginity and see what happened.
Someone save me.
Oh, we're doing fine here. It's a great day on Dos de Mayo, the made-up holiday created down here at the world-famous Max Pond, celebrating the 3 days before Cinco de Mayo. And, Chad, as you like to say, don't just go right into Cinco. Enjoy the dose.
That is right. Don't rush into Cinco. Enjoy dose first, I think
right.
is the line. And so Dosa de Mayo going on down here. And a thing we didn't mention in Sports Carnival, Kentucky Derby is tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, is that even a sport anymore?
That's
I'm sorry.
Not really. It's
I mean, you've got midgets riding horses. I mean, that seems like, like demoralization more than anything.
Well, there was a horse that did drop out, though, because of a sore front left foot.
Is that right?
Opportunity is out. And then Pablo Del Monte, 51 shot, took his place. So that probably puts Wicked Strong, and California Chrome is the favorite, then Wicked Strong.
Wicked Strong. I'm going to say, it's been a lucky year for Boston fans, so I'm going to go with Wicked Strong. What are the odds on him?
Wicked Strong is 6-1.
Oh, he's too favored.
The one that I really hate, General A-Rod, is 15-1.
Okay.
General A-Rod. You know this guy's a jackass.
You know what? Then we're definitely going to have to beat him because that horse is going to be roided up, and it is going to fly through the finish line at the Kentucky Derby. Great call.
And Tammy mentioned me she liked Candy Boy at 15-1.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to a Kentucky Derby party tomorrow. Barbecue.
Are
and I'm
you?
going to wear my sombrero. That's my hat.
That's probably offensive.
If you go to a Kentucky Derby party, you're going to have to drink a mint julep, though. And if you don't drink, you're not going to be allowed into the Kentucky Derby party. You have to drink a mint julep.
I'll hold it.
All right, if you can hold it, that'll be great. Now, even though it is Dos de Mayo, we're not promoting Dos Equis, okay? What we are doing right now, though, is talking to a guy from downtown's only, and I mean only, brewing company. This is Nick from Banger Brewing. Nick, it has been a long time since I've gotten a chance to talk to you, my friend. How the heck are you? It is great to see you guys in an awesome place down there at Neonopolis.
Dave, great to talk to you again. Everything here is great. Last time I talked to you, we were still brewing in the garage, and as of December, we've actually been open, and we're brewing down here right at the brewery on Fremont Street.
Well, I tell you what, Nick, it's for you guys, I've got to imagine this is a dream come true. I mean, you've been working so hard on this. You mentioned, coming out of your garage. Give the listeners here on Live Las Vegas a little background about Banger Brewing, how you guys got your name, and how you all got started doing this.
Sure, absolutely. So the story behind Banger Brewing is there's 5 of us that have all met. We all worked on the strip. We're food and beverage professionals. We all met at the Bellagio way back and been working there since 1998 is when we all met. And over the years, we've been working together in food and beverage on the strip and always had a passion for food and beverage. And we've always been big, whiskey and beer drinkers. And growing up out here, realized that, hey, we really have not a big exposure to great craft beer community. We really want to get Vegas to be known for having an amazing beer program. So the 5 of us friends all got together about 5 years ago, and we bought this homebrew system, and we've been brewing in the garage for the last 4 years, working on a couple dozen different recipes, brewing in there every single week, every Monday. We'd get together and we'd brew a different batch of beer. Some were good, some not so good, but that's the fun of home brewing. And, so we put in our beer in some local beer festivals, started winning some awards for best beer and best brewery, and then we spent the last 4 years developing it, and, we finally opened Banger Brewing. And as far as the name, we got the name Banger Brewing from our head brewer, whose name is Michael Beeman, but his nickname's Banger. People always ask.
Let me ask you, what's the secret, if you'll indulge us here, what's the secret to a good beer?
A lot of cleaning.
Cleaning.
When you make beer, all you do is clean and clean. No, the key to good beer, in my opinion, is all about the balance. A lot of beers that you've probably tried are, super malty, really high alcohol, super bitter, super hoppy. To me, to find the perfect balance is you want a good balance of alcohol meets malts, meets hops, and to have that all kind of come together on your palate and balance out a beer so it's nice and well-rounded. That's, to me, what makes a great beer.
And then meets hot chick by a pool, right? Is that how that works?
Exactly.
Okay. I'm just trying to do the math, beer math.
Well, Nick, I think you got the female demographic for beer since we know that your beer is clean.
Yes,
very,
that's
very
good.
clean.
That's a good point.
Well,
that's the thing. We want to brew beers for all kinds of beer drinkers. So, we have our pale ales, we have the IPAs, we do some Belgian beers. We just tapped on a Belgian quad, which is 11.2%. But we do some great flavored beers, for the springtime. We got a watermelon wheat beer on tap. We have our award-winning jalapeno Hefeweizen infused with fresh roasted jalapenos and serrano peppers. We actually just last week put our beer into some bourbon barrels. We're going to age them for 8 months in bourbon barrels, releasing that out in December. So,
wow.
That should be pushing about a 12% beer at the end of the year. So looking forward to that one too.
Well, Nick, let me ask you here, because it sounds like, obviously the beers are in place, and I've been by Banger Brewing, your new location down there late at night, and you guys are open pretty late, but, tell me how awesome it's been for you to be in the Neonopolis and really the revitalization of that entire ground floor of the Neonopolis. It used to be one of those things where people thought, oh, God, what are we going to do? Do we have to tear this down? And now it looks like Roshit and the crew down there at Neonopolis is really pushing forth to make this a viable place downtown again.
Yeah, it's funny because coming into this, we'd always heard the stories about Neonopolis growing up out here, but being in this building has actually been a blessing in disguise just because, we're right here in the heart of Fremont Street. We sit right between the block between the Fremont East, which is a new revitalization of downtown. Then you have Neonopolis, and then on the other side of us, we have the Fremont Street Experience, where you have 16 million visitors from around the world that come travel to Fremont Street. And right in the middle of the local revitalization and the 16 million tourists on a canopy sits Neonopolis, right in the dead heart of it. So it's great to see, and when you sit here and you just watch this flow of people, you have young and old meet locals, meet tourists, and it's just great coming together of everyone that's here to share that same passion of just handcrafted quality beers.
Yeah, so Nick, tonight, obviously First Friday going on today. What's going on with you guys specifically tonight? What can people look forward to when they go down to Banger Brewing?
What we look forward to tonight is we're actually putting on tap a brand new IPA called Hot Bang Boom, where we actually, it's dry hopped with 2 pounds of Simcoes and 2 pounds of Citra hops.
Wow.
So bright, vibrant citrus grapefruit aroma. Actually, Banger's in there right now cleaning out the bright tank, and they're getting ready to carbon up and should be coming out later tonight.
Wow. So, Nick, let me ask you then here, because, again, we're on with Nick from Banger Brewing. You go check out Banger Brewing downtown, like you mentioned, in the heart of Neonopolis. But, Nick, are you still operating the brew pub now out of your garage, or did you move the facility inside the bar?
No, we're actually in a very nice, cool, climate, air-conditioned brewery right now. It's the greatest thing ever.
That's great. Now, you guys must be loving life. Coming from a garage in Vegas, which we all know is, living out here for so many years, a garage in Vegas can feel like the 9th layer of hell. So when you move that into a good air-conditioned place, I'm sure your spirits have to be lifted as well, right? This has got to let you know, hey, we've arrived. We've got air conditioning.
Oh, my gosh. It's, it's the greatest feeling because, in the summer you'd be sitting out there and your tank tops would – we actually had a swamp cooler and would always fight on who would face the swamp cooler at each other. And then in the wintertime, you'd see the 5 of us with our hoodies and our gloves on gathered around this boil kettle trying to get the heat from the boiling wort to warm ourselves up.
Oh, gosh.
And now it's just kind of this dream come true right now.
Well, especially dream come true, Nick. When I was a younger man, I used to dream about being a brewmaster. So I have to ask you this question. Are you guys drunk all day long? Or how does this work? That was my dream. This would be a perfect job for me.
Yeah, well, I had to put the beer down to pick up the phone to call you.
There you go.
It's been a rough day so far.
All right, Nick from Banger Brewing, thanks so much for joining us here today on Live Las Vegas. Continued success at your new location, the Neonopolis, and like you mentioned, right there smack dab in the middle of all the action, Fremont Street, Las Vegas. I know for a fact that I'll be coming down to bother you for that new beer a little bit later on tonight because I can avoid some of the madness of First Friday by staying right there on the Fremont Street Experience. So great stuff. Thanks for coming on with us, Nick.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. Cheers.
All right. Thanks so much again to these guys. Really wonderful, wonderful group of guys. And like we mentioned here at the beginning of the segment, I got a chance to meet them, Chad, when we were over at our last radio station, and you could see that these guys were going to be hyper successful at this. They all had a great passion for it, and they all have a great business sense. So growing up out here in Las Vegas and being in the casino industry, I think it gives them a real leg up.
Well, it's just brewing has just all of a sudden exploded in the last 10 years or so. It really wasn't that big of a deal before. You drank some Coors Lights, you tried to pick up a chick, you went home, you eat some Taco Bell, and you went to bed. That's
now you drink some Coors Light, you have to eat some citrus with it, and it starts you off down a whole other road. Well, guys, it's been a fantastic show here on Live Las Vegas. Thanks so much to Chef Sammy D from Travel Channel's Chow Masters. Thanks to Tammy Grable from Las Vegas Woman Magazine. Chad and I are going to stick around here with you for Pawn Talk Live with Michael Mack right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Hi, I'm Glenn Lerner. If the insurance companies treated you fairly after you'd been in an accident, we wouldn't be in business. They have teams of adjusters, investigators, and attorneys that are all working against you, and they want to pay you as little as possible for your injuries. When we call, the insurance companies listen. We'll fight hard to get you all the money you deserve and try to keep you out of the courtroom. Don't settle for less. Make one call, that's all, to 877-1500. I'm attorney Glenn Lerner.
Glenn Lerner is the way to go. Call 877-1500.
Dave Carney here, inviting you to the all-new Live Las Vegas with me and my new co-host, Chad Forster. Every Friday from 1 till 2, Chad and I break down top Vegas news, sports from around the country, and entertainment in a really fun way. Yeah, that's right, talk radio can actually be fun. Live Las Vegas every Friday at 1.
Hello, I'm Mike DiGregorio. Are you concerned about outliving your money? Call 855-412-7233 for your free Safe Money book, or join me for the Safe Money and Income radio show, Sundays from 2:30 to 3 o'clock p.m.
Remember, from now on, you need to dial the 702 to reach KDWN. Want to get us by phone? 702-257-5396. That's 702-257-5396. 50,000 watts of power. News Talk 720.